This is the video that coordinates with section 14.1, and I'm going to be teaching you how to convert metric units of length. We're going to talk about why it's important for us as teachers to teach this to our students. Although we don't observe the metric system in the United States, we do see it in some of the products we use, so that's one reason why it's really important for us to teach it to our students. So some places you might see it is your computer or smartphone. We refer to our storage as gigabytes, which is a way to measure how much storage you have in your device. Another example is our medicine. We use the unit milligram to refer to a dosage amount. Both meters and milliseconds are metric units we use as measurements in the sport track. For example, you might say you ran the 400-meter race and won it by only 5 milliseconds. Another area we might actually ask our students to use the metric system is to measure things. Most rulers have centimeters on them, so we might ask a student to measure how long their pencil is in centimeters. And lastly, we might ask a student to use a meter stick to measure how tall their desk is. So you can see that even though we don't technically use the metric system in the United States, it is still present in several areas of our lives. This is why it is so important for us to help our students understand and use the metric system and why we are required to teach it. The units we're going to be focusing on in this video are millimeters, centimeters, meters, and kilometers. A key detail of this is to remember that our base unit of measure for the metric system is the meter. Everything that we are going to look at in this video is based off of a meter. The first thing we need to do is look at the prefix, which will tell us what each unit of length is. First, we are going to look at a millimeter, which has the prefix milli. Milli means 1,000th. This has always seemed kind of backwards to me because milli sounds so much like a million, but we need to remember that milli represents 1/1000th of a meter, or in other words, we need 1,000 millimeters to get 1 meter. So just to give you a little insight, a millimeter is about equal to the thickness of a paperclip. Next, we are going to look at the centimeter, which has the prefix centi, which is pretty easy for me to remember that it represents 100. Just remember that there are 100 years in a century and 100 cents in a dollar. Based on this, a centimeter is 1/100th of a meter, or in other words, we need 100 centimeters to get 1 meter. So to give you some insight on how large a centimeter is, it's the average width of a pinky or a staple. Lastly, we are going to look at the kilometer, which is actually larger than a meter. Kilometer has the prefix kilo, which means 1,000. Based on this, we know that it takes 1,000 meters to equal 1 kilometer. To give you some insight about how big a kilometer is, it's about equal to a half of a mile, so this would be used to measure larger things. Now that we have a little background knowledge about what each of the prefixes mean and approximately how large they are, let's start to look at how we can use this knowledge to perform conversions. The first problem we're going to look at is 3 meters equals how many centimeters? Based on what we just talked about, we know that 1 meter is 100 centimeters. So if we have 100 centimeters in a meter and we have 3 meters, we need to take 3 times 100, which gives us 300 centimeters is equal to 3 meters. The next problem we are going to look at is 10 meters equals how many centimeters? Again, we know there are 100 centimeters in a meter, so if we have 10 meters, we need to take 10 times 100, which will give us the answer of 1,000 centimeters. There are 1,000 centimeters in 10 meters. The third problem we are going to solve is 9 kilometers is equal to how many meters? We know that in 1 kilometer there's 1,000 meters, but we have 9 kilometers. Take a moment to pause this video and see if you can get the correct answer. If you took 9 kilometers times 1,000 meters to get an answer of 9,000 meters, you are correct. The fourth problem we are going to solve is 400 centimeters equals how many meters? We know that in each meter there's 100 centimeters, so for this one we need to take that 400 and split it into groups of 100, or in other words, take 400 divided by 100. Either way, that will give us 4 groups of 100, therefore giving us our answer, which is 400 centimeters is equal to 4 meters. The fifth and final problem we are going to look at today is 8,000 millimeters is equal to how many meters? Take a moment to pause this video to see if you can get the correct answer. If you took 8,000 millimeters divided by 1,000 meters to get an answer of 8 meters, you are correct. 8,000 millimeters is equal to 8 meters. Now it is time to see if you can do it on your own. I have given Ms. Nichols a worksheet for us to use as practice for converting the metric units we just covered. Please take a photo of it and send it to her when you are finished. Thank you for watching my video.